many different ways how to do the same thing or try to get the same result. And
No, you get away. No, you can get away with it now. See, and I don't call it anything when you do it because there's an art to it. I've seen you fucking. I've seen you really try to tear Hot 97 down on multiple occasions.
yeah, but
Talk about that. That's crazy.
I've seen that.
I don't have
Like,
business with them though.
Hey,
and you
Ack,
don't want. Wait, wait,
what
wait,
I
wait, wait,
think,
wait. Pardon me. And you don't want it.
That is true.
Thank you. And that's the part that you always dismiss when it comes to me.
That is true too.
Thank you. I'm done.
hey, Ack, what I think is that what you're calling manipulation, you're really taking really good notes on. You've already identified that you are obsessed with the tactics that Wack puts on the stage, as well as Joe Budden. So what that means is that they have a skill that you wish you had and that you might want to get better at because they're very good at it.
Who's
Well,
speaking?
Wack be for the people. He be
Wait,
chilling
wait,
with
wait.
us.
Who's speaking right now?
That's
Lebo.
Lebo.
Um, he's right on the money. Of course, like, listen, I study the greats. I got in this game by like listening to everything that, whether it was Star, Charlemagne, shit, Joe, shit. Nowadays, I listen to Wack. I listen to people like to get better at debating. I'm the first everyday struggle. I'm put in front of a motherfucker named Joe Budden, a guy who's been on Love and Hip Hop, has been a rapper, and his whole career is built off being great with words. And shit, I took notes the night before. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great. Eviscerates me. You get me? That's in that 35% I lost. You get me? And I was like, I need to get better at the skill of being able to not only convey my point but debate. And yeah, I study everything. You know what I mean? I listen to Skip. I listen to Skip and Shannon. Then I go to I used to listen to Max and Stephen A. I used to listen to that. So now to keep myself sharp, because you know I know some people might just think, oh, you niggas just talking. No, but there is an art to it. Communication is something that you get to realize you can improve upon. And not only in the verbal way, especially if you're someone who's on camera, you got to you're trying to be a master. And I think Joe's one of the people who's a master at using his words. So of course I
Definitely.
studied. I used to, all them rants that Joe went on, man. I don't download shit like in terms of podcasts. I was streaming. I download them bitches and I fucking listen to how he paced himself. I listen to how he went. I'm uh, I'm somebody who's obsessed. That I'm obsessive over what I do. Like this is the only thing that makes me happy in life. I don't got no other shit that really. This is the only thing. So every single day, I'm constantly obsessed with even trying to improve my skills now. So yeah, so like again, I'm not attacking Whack. I love Whack. And by the way, for the people who
Yeah.
like me
Hey, but
saying
you
that is that.
saying, but you
Go ahead.
saying he don't. He just manipulating us, and he not giving us real information, and we just feed into the bullshit he be telling us on the stage,
No, no, no,
basically.
no. I didn't say he's giving y'all bullshit. I said Whack. He's a great debater, and I use the word manipulation in the sense of he could convince motherfuckers to see his side more than someone else could convince them. And I see it every day, every time there's an argument. He uses certain tactics. He uses information that people might not be privy to. I think these are all great tactics. Now, sometimes, and this is where I kind of got a shout. I was like, I feel like, granted, if he says something that y'all can't verify, like there's nothing y'all can do, right? But if he does say sometimes I'm listening to like 20 minutes of audio, and I'm like, this nigga Whack done kind of tripped himself up a few times just off word semantics. You know what I mean? Like he'll change a few words there just to make his point. I'm like, somebody should call him on this. So
Can you
that's
tell
one of
us one
those
of those
things.
points?
Say again?
Can you tell us one of these points since you heard them so many
Well,
times?
I gave it. I don't have the entire lexicon of like Whack 100 arguments, but I used an example earlier of the conversation with Trick Daddy. My takeaway from that conversation was that Whack was phrasing that whole convo to be like Trick was dissing not only him but niggas from Cali. It was gonna galvanize more people to be riding with him on whatever his feud was with Trick Daddy, instead of individually being able to decipher like, yo, okay, so y'all two have an issue. Granted that we fuck with you, but let's try to analyze the issue. Now, if I come there and be like, yo, that nigga dissed all of us, you're automatically about to ride. So that's just one of the things I've seen, and I'm like, again, you know, like I think it's a really dope skill.
Yo, Act,
He
if the
you're
nigga
legit
dissed
manipulating your
everybody,
foot
hey, look,
now.
Act, if a nigga dissed everybody, right? What I noticed with Trick, and it's funny you don't want to say it, right? You everything about this situation, you don't want to call out. This nigga was caught lying 2-3 times with his own words, so we press play, right? But you giving all the credibility to him, right? Trick, like any other coward motherfucker who don't mean it, who's scared to die about it. Yeah, fuck all them niggas. He gonna holler that to a motherfucker where he think it ain't gonna go no further. But when everybody hear it, yo, you said fuck all them niggas? Nah, I didn't say that. Out of pure fear, right? And I'm gonna speak on it because I've been in the same situations where they said, even now, yo, Wack, did you say that? Yeah, I said that, and I stand on it, right? You can't tell me what that man did or didn't say because I know what that woman told me he said months prior to me even exposing him. And those people that know me, I tell you, the nigga Wack, I be sitting on shit and never say nothing until I'm ready to blaze your ass up. I just didn't find that out. I've been knew it.
Well, yeah, again, I want to like get back to that, but yeah, no, again, that was definitely a example, and shit. Who knows? You might be right. That was just one of the things that me, as somebody who's listened to audio that's re-uploaded to YouTube, I noticed. I noticed like within a 10-minute span, I'm like, oh, the conversation about what was said has changed a bit. That's it. And
I
again,
didn't need the whole app, bro, because what I was using against him, all I was doing was rebirthing the ass whooping he took that all the youth on the app didn't know about. I was re-smutting his name with his smut. That's all I was doing. I had the video footage. I am running around like a little fucking hamster, and I had the aftermath of the picture, right, of him all fucked up. And then I said, Trick Daddy has been to Miami several times, and you talk that shit about what you run, and you ain't did a motherfucking thing about it. And I rested my case right there on facts.
Act, you do realize you're manipulating us, right? You're trying to get Reek to
Hey,
fight
That's a
Wack. You
fact.
trying to...
You realize that Trick Daddy said he was gonna suck some
He
of your
said he
Yeah,
dick.
liked to
he
be
not saying
entertained.
he
He
not
liked to
saying
be
Wack
entertained.
telling
Ain't
y'all
nothing
the
wrong with
truth.
that.
He manipulating y'all. Even though Wack telling y'all the truth about the situation he's speaking on, he's still manipulating y'all to believe the truth he telling y'all.
That's
Hey,
crazy,
hey,
hey,
Act,
yo.
hey, Act.
Crazy.
You don't think that it's like of a lower IQ to
manipulation
think that you
is
can
always
watch
in your
something of
mind.
10 minutes that took probably 2-3 days, like you're summing it up, and then saying that everybody else is like, you feel me, low IQ. You don't think that's like kind of like weird, bro?
I definitely feel like if I watch several conversations and like I don't know, I feel like I've watched a few hours of conversation of Wack being on this app, and again, it's re-uploads, but and I just never see nobody challenge
Was
that.
it back
I didn't
like
want
are
I
you
didn't
talking
want to
about
do this to
conversations
it,
with him
Joe.
arguing with
It's
niggas?
Act,
like,
I didn't
but
want to
that's
do
like
this to you.
somebody that
I'm gonna end it with this. That's like saying I watched Tom Brady throw the same fucking touchdown pass every time and it works. Fuck it.
Literally.
yeah, Wack. I told you, I
hey,
said
hey,
yo,
academics. The
I
You
said
with
you
difference,
me,
hit these
Wack?
the
What
motherfuckers
you
with the
saying,
5 cent
bro?
tactics and you just spit them.
It's not a tactic. It's just my approach. That's my
Yeah, but
approach.
then I look at it and I low key, I'm like, yo, I'm like that bullshit wouldn't work with a nigga like me. Like it wouldn't work with anybody who talks
Act,
substantially.
act, act. Me and you interviewed. You didn't want no problems with me because you never came at me.
He was quiet
And
as
you
a
know
church
it.
mouse.
You didn't come at me. We did a one-on-one. Cut that shit out. If you felt that way, then you should have gotten the ring and boxed with God, my brother.
Wait,
You should have
hold on,
tested
hold
the
on, hold on.
waters.
Instead,
Wait,
he decided
yo,
to
Wack.
get drunk.
You
Wait,
never
hold on.
came at me,
Yeah, hold
bro.
on here. Wack, here's the difference, right? And I even told you when you said earlier, you said, so do you think when I speak to you, I'm lying? I said, no, but I verify everything you say. And also, I know when you use your tactics, I'm not gonna sit here and argue like 10 hours with you. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of
I'm
stuff you
talking
say.
about me and you
There's a
on
lot
your
of stuff.
show.
Yeah, no, but there's a lot of stuff you say that listen, as long as I let you know that I don't believe it, at some point you gotta agree to disagree. You move on.
What you
You
don't
get me?
believe? What I What you believe I'm out here in LA on the run? I mean, you called me to this morning with some weird shit,
No,
right?
you called me and I
That's
told
some
you
weird
that's
shit.
what
You didn't believe.
said about
Hey,
you. You
Act,
didn't believe it.
you didn't believe that was my real address. You know what you said? Crazy motherfucker. I checked. That's really the address.
Wack.
Calling
No,
Clubhouse
no.
people stupid.
At least
Is,
he's
Act,
doing his
just take
homework.
the
Wait,
L.
Act, am I right or wrong? Act, keep it
or what?
real. When you said yo Wack, that's really your fucking address. I thought you was just saying a number. You really giving an address.
Yeah, no, that's true.
But you didn't believe me though, right?
No, not in that sense. I didn't believe you.
Oh, okay.
I thought you. I thought.
But you believed me when you got here though.
Yeah, but what does that mean? These are the
I
non
was telling
sequiturs
the
I be
truth.
seeing
When
you
you
all the
think
time.
I'm lying, I'm not lying. Even though it seems crazy, that's just what it is with me. See, Joe will hear me give an address, and what Joe is saying in his back of his head, man, I hope that motherfucker don't go over there because Wack waiting on him, and I don't want to see Wack get in trouble. You said, you would know what you heard? That nigga Wack capping. That ain't his address.
That got nothing to do with how I view.
It does because you
Hey, it
thought I
does
was
though, bro.
lying until
You're
you
hearing
got
two
here.
different things, bro.
Hey, Act, the
You,
difference between you and a lot of people on this app is that you do it behind closed doors and you take notes to get your craft better. You're a student of the game, just like a lot of people on this app. They learn it. So don't pass judgment and call people with, say they got small IQs because they're listening. They might be taking notes.
Yeah, but
Exactly, yeah.
if you're allowed
You
to
do
say
But
that
he
more,
all by
also
yourself,
basing that
talking
on
to
the niggas
yourself.
he been arguing
You
with
just
though.
doing it in front of a bunch of people. Like
if you're allowed to
you're on
say
Clubhouse.
motherfucker
But
to hit
But
y'all with the
hey,
same
listen,
tactic, it's like playing a video game.
what makes
If you allow the same nigga to
academics
hit you with the same move every
He getting
day,
what makes
uncomfortable.
at a certain point you
academics
should stop.
learning as a student from Wack any different than the rest of us though?
uh,
Bro, you just sat here and said you taking on and you sitting here and you learning just like
Yeah,
the rest
hold
of
on. I
us is
take
learning,
no,
bro.
but I challenge. Y'all take no, y'all
Okay,
clap.
bro, but bro, you said you only listened to 10 minutes of something, bro. How you gonna sit there and say you listen to 10 minutes of something and then tell us that we
No,
don't
I didn't
challenge
say
this
it's
You
shit,
only
didn't
bro?
challenge
10
on the
minutes. I
biggest
listen
stage
to
on
hours
the
of
side and
Bro,
Wack.
what
You
is
ain't
everybody.
you
challenge
saying,
nothing.
Yo,
bro?
yo,
You
Listen
yo.
to
still got
what you
dropped.
saying, academics.
Yo, a lot
Listen to
of
what
what
you
y'all don't
saying,
want
bro.
to,
You're
y'all don't want
slipping
to
up.
come to grips
You're
with,
slipping up.
and it's not me. The what
Bro,
y'all
no,
want
no,
to
no,
grips with,
bro,
it's not
no,
me.
bro. You just
Wait,
said
If
wait,
that
y'all
wait.
you
go
Let
on
him
only listen
answer.
YouTube
to
Let
and
him
certain
watch
answer.
shows.
everybody,
You
One
said
mic
that you
on
listen to
Wait,
certain
wait.
academics.
Let
One
him
mic
shows.
on
answer.
academics.
hey,
One
Bubby,
mic on
let him
academics.
answer.
yo,
One
I got
mic.
you.
One
hey,
mic.
listen.
One mic. One mic. Go ahead, academics.
No matter how you want to look at it or weaponize it against me, which I don't want to be accountable for, is that when you go on YouTube and you listen to the replay or whatever it is, the majority of y'all can look in the comments, bro. Like there's actually one of the fucking YouTube niggas. They be calling like the people around Wack some Oscar Mayer Wiener squad or something
That's
like, bro.
just
Like,
the
come on, like,
Wack
it's not just
haters.
me.
Oh, you did you
Everybody
know
can't
that?
be saying the
Oh
Whack
same thing.
100.
wow.
We already know who that is, though, bro.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
say
we
you
already know
know
who
it.
it
So
is.
so
Come on, bro.
so
So
hey
you're already
Yeah.
listening to a biased
No,
YouTube
I
page,
listen to
That's
bro.
all of
right.
them. I listen to all of them.
hey
Come on,
Whoever uploaded.
Act, listen. Act, listen. So you in this room right now, right? And you talking to all these people. Do you really still think our IQ is that low?
I can't tell. I really haven't like conversed.
Hey,
Oh
answer the
But I
question.
wow.
know the
Answer
Wack.
the question.
In
Answer the
other
I'm
question.
about
words,
to play
he
my
said,
box.
yeah.
Well, academics. You didn't had a one-on-one conversation with me and a few other individuals, even Phoenix. Like,
Reek
I'm confused on why. Go ahead.
with you, and this is what I was trying to get to that point before. I think there's a lot of times that you would challenge Wack, but because I don't think, and this is what I also said the same thing to Phoenix, even though she was like, "Oh, I got a woman. I'm a woman with morals. I get it," but
Mm.
I don't think it's really in your best interest if you're trying to pursue possibly a career in this, for you to be someone who is combative or challenging a lot of what Wack says. I'm gonna just be honest.
Wrong, brother.
But how does
But
Wrong.
that?
it,
But
but
is
it,
that the
Wait,
so
wait,
same
you,
wait,
thing
wait,
about
wait,
you
wait,
and
wait.
Joe
Hold
so
Budden
on.
you
though?
think if I
Hold
challenge
on. Wait,
him,
wait.
he would?
Value
Hey,
So
let
if
me
I
My
tell you how
mic.
challenge
wrong
him,
you are, bro.
so if I have a
Let me tell you
different
how
point of
wrong we are.
view,
The
Yo, that was
easiest
fucked up
way,
to say that. I ain't gonna hold you.
for Reek to get dismissed for being the fuck around me is to be a yes man or a fucking weak link. I teach the teacher and the student way, not the dictator shot caller way. So the minute I think that this man, right, is doing that shit, then I know that he can't fill that seat that I'm grooming him for. So why even work with him?
Hey, he's doing
And
a
by the
good
way,
Totally
job.
wrong.
By the way, I'm glad you say that
And
because I think what
academics,
that's gonna.
he didn't have to choose me. He seen me doing a whole bunch of rooms on my own that caught his interest into fucking with me. Literally, he could have just let me kept doing them rooms, kept me in my situation, and whatever came out of it, came out of it type shit. He actually got me out of my situation while I was doing my shit. I did some touchy ass fucking rooms where now I'm blessed to be in a position where I got opportunities and things that came out of it. You get what I mean? So this isn't just a random pick. Oh, this dude agrees with everything. I done did a lot of fucking rooms myself. It's just not shown because you know what I mean. A lot of the light came once Wack. You know what I mean. Started to fuck with me heavy. But I wasn't just a person on here just yes man, and I did a whole bunch of this shit on my own, certain rooms waiting for him to come in, and he started to come into the previous room that I used to be with. So
Hey,
it ain't
hey,
nothing like that, academics.
hey, Rick, respectfully, and just because I'm looking at you like a content creator, and I think you and Wack are going to be a great
I
duo.
appreciate that.
So you could take it or you could just discard this advice from me. I feel when you get your legs under you a little bit more and you challenge Wack more, and we get to really see the differences between y'all. I think that is going to be when you both are going to be operating on just maximum cylinders, if you ask me. Because I look at y'all two, I look at everybody in the podcast space. And by the way, like I look at Reek and Wack, I look at that as the 100 show, right? And I think you guys have something that could be really dope. And again, this is just my not even advice, but just my forecast because I watch what y'all are doing, I watch y'all interaction, and I'm like, how would this play across like a podcast, right? Just like how when me and Joe, like, when we first auditioned, Joe had to see something to be like, yo, how would this play across like a show? And I just feel, right, that once you get that, and I'm not saying that you haven't, maybe I haven't heard it, this and third, but once you start doing that a little bit more, once you get your legs under you a little bit. And by the way, I understand your even explanation to say, hey, I'm kind of learning a little bit thing too. Makes perfect sense. You know what I mean? When that happens, I think it will be just way more fulfilling, and I think you guys are going to be great. So there's a silver lining in everything I'm saying. It's not that it was just to knock, you know what I mean? Especially you, Reek, because I look at no disrespect to nobody else on the stage. I look at Wack and Reek like a 1-2 combo. Like it's supposed to be like Scotty and Jordan. You know what I mean? And everything I just said now is what I feel about you two. Okay, a lot of times, and I know your voice specifically. I don't know some other people's voices, but like as when I hear the rest of the people, sometimes it just seems like white noise. I'm gonna be honest with you. And no disrespect to y'all, but with Reek, I could kind of distinguish, and I'm like, yo, hey, I just want him to challenge Wack a little bit more because I want to see what he thinks. Because a lot of times, I could tell you, and again, I could be biased and it could be out of ignorance because again, I'm searching Wack 100's name, so I'm telling you the bias, but I oftentimes don't know you guys, the rest of you guys, disposition on stuff. Even if I listen to an entire conversation, sometimes I listen to a full 2-hour clip, and the only person whose opinion who actually comes through is Wax. You know what I mean? I know when you guys agree, but I rarely hear when you disagree. That's it.
Hey, yo, Act, let me ask you a question. Let me see how smart you are. When I went to No Jumper about a month or two ago, right? Who you think Adam called to come to No Jumper?
I know he calls you, bro, Reek. I know.
Okay, so listen. If you ask Reek, I told Reek day one, step your game up, Reek, did I not?
For sure, for sure.
Step your game up. Find your lane, right? Don't pay attention to what I do. Figure out what you want to do. Again, the teacher and the student, right? So, I'm glad you telling Reek this because I've been telling him the same shit too. And just so you know, I'm not running this shit where I'm saying, hey, motherfucker, don't challenge me. Hey, motherfucker, don't go against what I'm saying. Listen, I want a motherfucker to go against what I'm saying. You know why I act? It it gives me a reason to continue another conversation. Like I know, as we're talking, we're freestyling this shit, bro. That's where Joe is telling you it's a gift because we ain't got no script. We are freestyling this shit. We can run out of shit to talk about at any given time. So the minute he starts to do that, The minute it makes the motherfucking conversation a lot easier for me because it's something else to talk about.
So I have something important I want to
And
contribute to that
and
point.
and and in regards to what Academics said, real quick, in regards to what Academics said, definitely Wack is a mentor. He's my mentor in regards to entertainment in this new industry that what I mean, that I'm exploring. A lot of the times, and honestly, Wack, man, he dominates the conversation.